So next thing we're going to do is we are going to create a new layout. This layout here will be our pop-up layout. So inside of our layouts here, I'm going to say right click. It's going to be layout, pop up. That's good. And there we go. So we're going to add a few things in our pop-up layout here. First of all, it's going to be a card view. Let's go ahead and add a card view. But before we do that, we're actually going to add a scroll view first. So we're going to go and add scroll view. The scroll view will allow us to scroll, as the name implies. I'm going to add inside there. And inside of our scroll view, we're going to add a linear layout. So we need to change this to relative layout, I meant to say. All right, so this is where we are going to add all of the other widgets. Namely, we are going to start by adding a text view. Text view, wrap content. Okay, I'm going to give it an ID. It's going to go pop title. Let's center it horizontally to be true. Give it a text that will say more information. That sounds great. That looks good. Let's check it out. There we go. That's good. Let's give a few other properties here. Give a text size to be about 18 SP. And text style. And we're going to add a button here. Actually, we're going to add a few, but so first button here is going to be, I'll give an ID. It's going to be dismiss pop top. Okay. For width, in fact, let's just make it smaller. Make it DP. So this is going to be the X close button at the top. We want it to be below our pop title. Text size, I'm going to give it 17 SP. Okay, so you can see it's small there. It's okay. Actually, we don't need that. I'm going to align parent right. I want it to the right to be true. Align bottom, we want it to align bottom to the pop title. So it should be right over there to the right. Let's give it a text. Oops. Say text. Hello. Can't quite see it. It's right about there. Okay, we'll see it as we add more items. All right, so now that we have that button, let's give it back Android IC. We want close. Let's see, close. That's good. It looks good. We can still good. Let's add a text view. The ID is going to be pop list title text surrounding cities. I'm going to put it below pop title. Good. Let's give a text size of about 17 SP. And let's say text view wrap content. Give it ID pop list below pop list title. Text size 15 SP. Give a text hello. And we are going to add a web view because we want to get some HTML content to be shown. Okay, let's give it an ID. It's going to be HTML web view. Say below pop list, and we have an issue. Let's just click here and say disable inspection. That's fine. Let's add a button here. Say wrap content, ID, dismiss pop, just like that. Text is going to be close, and text style, let's keep it bold, below, HTML web view, center horizontal to be true. All right, so let's go ahead and check a look. All right, so we have our button right there. Now I'm not sure why this is so small. Let me change. It's about 40 dp perhaps. That would. Okay, so I aligned it bottom pop list title, which has got to be this one here. So just to make sure things are. There we go. All right, so we're able to see the close icon button there. Okay, let's change the color of our bottom here, this button here. I'm gonna say background color. Let's use accent color. See how that's gonna look. Let's say text Android white, like that. And there we go. All right, so now that we have our pop-up, what we're going to do now is actually create that pop-up. So the idea here is that what we need to do, the pop-up will be created when they click. Let's go ahead and run again the emulator here. All right, so once you tap on one instance here, tap, and we should be able to go to the pop-up. Okay, so it has to happen inside of our own info window. Click. So what we do, we're going to create another method right out here, and we're going to call this public void get more details. I'm going to pass a string URL. Okay, so essentially we're going to do the same as what we did here. First things first, I'm going to say JSON object request is equal to JSON object request, new JSON object request, and we're going to say request that method that get, pass the URL, okay, and then we're going to pass a new listener. And as you know by now, we have to construct this, so new error listener. I'm going to close, finish our, and then we are going to say q.add. It's very important, otherwise this won't work. JSON object request. Perfect. All right, so now inside of our response here, this is our whole object, this whole object here, JSON object. So we need to do the work inside here. Okay, so the idea here is that we need to create a dialog builder. So we are going back at the top here. We're going to create a few private fields here. I'm going to say private alert dialog.builder. Call this dialog builder, and private alert dialog. I'm going to call this a dialog. So we're going to instantiate our dialog builder. It's equal to new alert dialog.builder. Now here we need to pass the maps dot this. If we pass the get application context, then we're going to have issue because the get application context is very vague, and so we need maps.activity, because this map that maps activity that this is directly related or inherits from our compact fragment activity, which also relates to our compact or compatible activity. Okay, so that's very important. Otherwise, you're gonna have an error. So let's go back here. So we have created our dialog alert. Now what we need to do is create a view. Okay, view, and we're gonna set it to get application inflator that inflate, and we have to pass our dot layout and we're going to go and get our pop-up, and we're going to just pass null for our view group. Okay, let's import our view. And now we are ready to set up all of our widgets that we have inside of our pop-up. Dismiss button is a button type. I'm going to say view, right? Because this is how we're going to be able to get the IDs from view.find view by ID, r.id, and dismiss pop. Okay. I'm going to do the same another button because we have two. I'm going to call the dismiss button top. So button view.find r.id .dismiss top, that one. Okay, now let's go ahead and get our text view. Pop list. The text view type view dot find view by ID r.id dot pop list. Okay, and then we're going to say web view HTML pop. Those are just names that I'm giving them. It's going to be a web view view dot find view by ID r.id dot HTML web view. All right, so now we will be ready to start parsing our object, our JSON object, and that will happen in the next video. I'll see you soon.